guys, welcome to another episode of A Drummer's Guide to. So today's question comes from Emma Copson via Instagram, who is asking about having time to do things. In her case, she's talking about practicing. She was saying that, you know, when she finally gets round to having some time to practice, she can barely peel herself off the couch because she's just so exhausted. She happens to have a young child as well, which obviously adds to the exhaustion, I'm sure. I don't have young children myself, but I've seen what happens. And I was one myself, and I've seen my parents. They used to look so young and fresh-faced and energetic. No, I'm joking. They still look really young, actually. I hope I have their genes. But anyway, Emma, let's talk about you. So, yes, it's, you know, finding time to do anything, whether that is practicing or for someone else it might be exercising or something like that. It's a nightmare. And I've struggled with this myself, especially the practicing thing. Oh, and the exercise thing, actually, for years and years. It's one of those things where you're like, I know I should be doing this, and I know that it would be good for me. In the practicing thing, you know I will be slightly better by the end of this practicing, and you have all this logic going on. But actually, to get yourself up off that couch and go and do something, it takes something else. So I'll tell you about how I managed to... I basically trick myself. This is what I do. And, well, it's a combination of trickery and other stuff. But so here's how I work it. I'll talk about exercise first because I do literally trick myself. Exercise, I do the moment that I wake up. And the reason that I do that is because I'm still a bit and I don't give myself time to give myself excuses and stuff like that. So I know that I get up, I work out, and by the time I am working out and realise what's going on, I'm like, oh, I'm working out. Oh, okay, well, at least that's done for the day. The next thing that I do, especially when it comes to practicing, and at the moment I've got like a 3-hour set out practice routine that I'm doing every day. Well, 5 days a week. I try and take 2 days off a week just to relax my brain, because I think it's really important to not tax your brain. I think rest time is incredibly useful for life generally, but to be at your peak kind of performance that you can be. The other thing that I do is I create a schedule, and I create a schedule in terms of what I'm going to be practicing, and that can be day to day, but also I have an end goal. So the end goal for me at the moment is reading, and it's to be able to read a chart straight off the bat, play it perfectly or as near damn perfect as I can, so that I can get through a lot of songs. So I don't know if I've spoken about the gig that I'm working towards at the moment, but if I have, you'll know what I'm talking about, and if you don't, then you will at some point. So anyway, I know that that's the goal that I need to have. And every day I also know that I do 3 hours of practicing, and that is just reading a multitude of different charts to songs that I've created in a playlist. So the work is already done. And that brings me on to my next point when it comes to practicing. And with exercise, actually, you need to make it as easy to access as possible, because the more barriers that are in your way, the easier it's going to be like, oh, well, you know, not today. And I had that with exercise. I used to have a gym membership, and our gym is like a 15-minute drive or a 10-minute drive, so it's very easy to just go, well, I've only got an hour, and by the time I drive there and go and get changed and get in, really I'd only really have half an hour, and really that's not really worth it. So maybe I won't go today, I'll go tomorrow, yeah, sure, whatever. Then I started doing calisthenics, which are bodyweight exercises, which I could do in the house, and that kind of, it basically took that excuse out of the equation. Each workout was less than an hour, so I didn't need a huge amount of time. I mean, it literally just totally did me over, and it was like, you're doing this, and then I started doing it first thing before I knew what was happening. So that kind of worked, and now I'm doing more yoga stuff, which I'm really enjoying, actually. So at the end of the yoga thing, I know that I'm going to feel better than I do before I'm doing it. Like, I know that for a fact. So that's a really nice thing to think about. In terms of practicing, obviously it's very difficult being a drummer in terms of space for a drum kit. volume for a drum kit unless you have an electronic kit, which is great, but again, it still takes up space. So if you can have an easily accessible space to practice, if you can, then do. I know that not everyone can have that, and you might just need an extra bit of get up and go. But the other thing that I do, I can't believe I didn't say this before. The other thing that I do is I do this thing, I think they call it habit stacking. So it's a series of events. So something that you do every day of your life anyway, you create a habit straight after it of whatever you want to be doing. So say you're doing 10 minutes of practice and it's on a practice pad, because this is the other thing. You don't need to be on a kit. You can be on a practice pad, or even just listening to music and visualizing stuff will help. It's not ideal, but it's better than now, and the intention is there, and that's kind of a big part of it. So, habit stacking. So my habit stacking thing is, I'm going to literally take you through my morning. So I wake up, me and my husband go downstairs and we have a lemon water. So just warm water with lemon in it. So we have that. Then we do these like physio exercises that we've both been given for our various ailments because we're getting on. And after that we have a coffee. After the coffee I go do my yoga practice. Then after that I go have a shower. As soon as I come out from the shower, then I go and I come up to the studio and I do my 3 hours practice. And that is my routine. Anything past that is it's scheduled out, because I like having a daily schedule and I do sort of stick to it. Maybe not, I don't necessarily write out the times, but I do know, like, I only try and fit in 3 things every day so that I'm not completely overwhelmed. And if, one of the things gets missed off, it's okay, I can do it the next day. So yeah, habit stacking, it's amazing. And so after I do my 3 hours practice, then I go have lunch, and then after that I know that I'm doing the rest of my day. So I think if you can find something that you do habitually anyway, and then just tack it on almost as a normal behavior. There's other ones, like, I've tried doing this, but I keep forgetting. So when I brush my teeth, I try to think of things that I try. It's not difficult. I think about things that I'm really grateful for. That's a really nice one to do, and it puts me in a really great headspace, really good mindset for the day, if it's the beginning of the day, or for at the end of the day when you can just think about how great this day has been. You know what I mean? So I think if you can do that, that will massively help you. Be kind to yourself. 5 minutes out of your day, I'd like to hope that you can achieve that, but already have a predetermined thing that you want to practice. So maybe it will be like, okay, all I want to do is sit down on a practice pad, play to a click at 60 BPM and play paradiddles in semi-quaver paradiddles. That's all I want to do for 5 minutes. And it may not seem like much, or maybe it would seem like a lot. I don't know, because I don't know where you're at with your playing, but the point is whatever you do, the fact that you've taken that time for yourself and for your drumming, and knowing that you're just a little bit better for yourself, and a little bit better than you were the day before, there's something really powerful about that, and I think it's an amazing thing. So yeah, I hope you do manage to carve out some time. I would do your practice or whatever you're trying to do first thing, or before the day gets in the way, because crazy things happen, and then, as you say, you end up on the couch at the end of the day just going, my God, I'm exhausted. I'm not practicing. Like, you must be mad. In fact, there's something going on tomorrow, and I'm really fearful that that's gonna happen to me tomorrow. I've got to try and combat that. In fact, I am gonna combat it by getting up 3 hours earlier than I should have, than I usually do. But that's fine. That's my own problems. So yes, I think if it means, I think you have a small child, so if it means maybe getting up 10 minutes earlier just to go and have that 5 minutes by yourself downstairs, practicing on your pad. Sorry, I say downstairs because I'm just thinking about my house. So you have 5 minutes to yourself to do your practice, and then you can get on with your day, and you can bask in the glory of sort of quietly knowing that you did something for yourself this morning, and you're just a little bit better for it, not just physically as a drummer, but mentally. I think there's a lot to be said for it. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling, but I hope, Emma, that this has helped you in some way. Let me know how you get on, for sure. Anyone else, let me know what your ways of sticking practice into your routine, your daily routine, or anything into your daily routine. How do you kind of make that work so you have consistency? Because that's what it's about, really, is consistency. And like I say, for me, it's a schedule, and it's tricking myself into doing it early enough that I don't even realise what's happening until it's done. Anyway, right, I'm going to go. Thank you so much for joining me today, listening to me waffling on. I hope you're having a lovely day. If you have any subjects you'd like me to cover, drop me an email at info@adrummersguide2.com or leave your questions in the comments below. Also, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my subjects that I talk about. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you next week for another subject. All right, see you guys later. Bye.